to Eternal Manna, the daily devotional broadcast of Grace Gospel Church. We are looking at Psalm 50 and verse 10. Verse 10, God taking his people to court, God the judge, God testifying against his people, God bringing charges against his people, and God bringing the supporting evidence. Now, verse 10 says, "For every animal of the forest is mine, and the cattle on 1,000 hills." What does that mean? Now, again, I want you to let your imagination run riot a little bit. All the beasts that roam at large in the wilderness, all that are untamed and unclaimed by man. Amazing, isn't it, how man has been able to domesticate very wild animals. And yet there are animals that are still perhaps unknown to man. And there are certainly animals that man has not been able to tame. All these animals, they belong to the Lord. These animals are his by creation and by preservation. Therefore, God stood in no need of their bullocks or he-goats. They all belong to him in the first place. Though God delights in sacrifice, he has no need for man's help in it. The animals they brought belong to him long before the worshippers ever even saw them. The world and everything in it belongs to him, and there is nothing we can give to him. He owns it all. Pagan religions of that day taught that their gods and goddesses ate the animals that people sacrificed. Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 38 says, "The gods who ate the fat of their sacrifices and drank the wine of their drink offerings." So this was a very popular notion that was held by the pagans as they went through their rituals. And these notions and beliefs began to infiltrate the thinking of God's people. God wants our hearts before our sacrifices. And here is the good news, that God will supply our every need because God owns everything. The cattle on 1,000 hills are his. Now, when I was a young fellow, there was a chorus that we loved to sing repetitiously, and it was taken from this verse, Psalm 50 and verse 10. Now listen to the words. "He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills, the wealth in every mine. He owns the rivers and the rocks and rills, the sun and stars that shine. Wonderful riches, more than tongue can tell. He is my Father, so they are mine as well. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. I know that he will care for me." A very comforting chorus that reminds us that the God who owns all the cattle, he takes care of them, preserves them, provides for them. Would he not care for us who are made in the image of God? What man owns, he owns under God, and he has no right to complain when God comes and asserts his superior claim to dispose of it at his pleasure. With Job the patriarch, we should be able to say, when things are taken away from us, God gave, God has taken away, blessed be his name. And whatever God has blessed you in terms of family and in terms of possessions, property, we need to hold them very loosely in our hand because they all belong to the Lord. And he has right to take them as he sees fit. Have a blessed day today. Amen.
For more videos like this, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Grace Gospel English Church Toronto. Thank you.